We come to Nimrod, who was also known as Baal and Bel in different aspects. And Nimrod was the sun god of Babylon. And his symbol was the lighted torch or the flame, same as Tammuz, because Tammuz and Nimrod were one, father and son, as I said. And so we've got Queen Semiramis holding the flame of Nimrod, standing on a symbol of the sun god. Isn't it great to have the Statue of Liberty as a symbol of our freedom? This is in Paris. Same because the source is the same. This is the symbol of the torch held by the Statue of Liberty, and that's where, right on top of the Pont d'Alma tunnel, where people take their tributes to Diana, who died just underneath. This is another depiction of Nimrod in the ancient world. He was also the fish god. Again, Jesus, the fish. He had the fish head hat. This is a depiction, actual depiction from Babylon, and that's why we have the mitre in the Pope, because it's the Church of Babylon relocated. And the obsession with the obelisks all over the place is the penis of Osiris, the penis of Nimrod, the bloodline symbolically. And these symbols are not just there, oh, we'll put them symbols there because it's funny that they don't understand. Symbols represent what they symbolize energetically and vibrationally. And this is a science called Cymatics, where what they do is they have bits of, not sand, but that kind of stuff. And then they play sound across them. And what happens is all these different bits and pieces then form into these incredible symbols and geometrical symbols as the sound plays. And once the sound stops, they all go back to the kind of mess. And then you change the sound and they'll form another pattern. And it goes both ways. Everything goes both ways. So a symbol will represent a sound, and you can create the symbol with a certain sound which forms that symbol. But the symbol itself generates the sound. They're both ways. So these symbols are all around us. They're affecting the energy fields that we interact with. That's why they use them. That's why they have street plans to these symbols and buildings and stuff. Nimrod, you find Nimrod again used in the modern world all the time by the people who are behind this knowledge. You have Nimrod aircraft and all that stuff. And then we come to Tammuz, Jesus. Same thing, this is Horus. All these sons of God are the same Babylonian virgin-born son under different names. This is the way the Egyptians depicted Horus, and this is Jesus. The halo around the head was the way the ancients depicted that the person was a sun god. There's the Jesus halo. Well, this is an ancient standing stone of Bel, the sun god, with a halo around his head, depicting he's a symbol of the sun. This is Mithra, another ancient son of God figure. The story that they tell of him is just the same as the one they tell of Jesus, in great detail. These is two others who are different versions of the same story. Dionysus of Greece and Bacchus of Rome. Dionysus was born, this is long before Christianity, was born of a virgin on December 25th, and as the Holy Child was placed in a manger. He was a traveling teacher who performed miracles. He rode a triumphal procession on an ass. He was a sacred king killed and eaten in a Eucharistic ritual. Dionysus rose from the dead on March the 25th, Easter. He was a god of the vine and turned water into wine. He was called King of Kings and God of Gods. He was considered only begotten Son, Savior, Redeemer, Sin-bearer, Anointed One, and the Alpha and Omega. He was identified with the ram or the lamb. He was hung on a tree or crucified. These people are all over the ancient world. It's just a recurring story. It's a story of the sun god. Symbols of the sun, not real people. The rising sun was a symbol used for Nimrod, Tammuz, and Horus. So Jesus, Christ has risen. Jesus is the light of the world. Revelation, behold, he is coming with clouds, and every eye will see him. He walked on water. The sun. And so you'd expect in the home of the Babylonian church in Rome that you'd have the same symbolism. This evergreen tree, symbol of Nimrod in Babylon, that's an original obelisk from ancient Egypt in front of it. This is above the chair of St. Peter, the sun and the dove, Miramis, in the middle of it. There's sun symbolism all over the place. Again, the sunburst in the dome. In the other religions, you find, this is Mormonism. These are the symbols you find around the Mormon temple in Salt Lake City. The sun, the rising sun. This is from Ur in what is now Iraq, was Babylon Sumer, from about 2000 BC, and it is a symbol of the sun and moon goddess of that area of Mesopotamia. This today is the international symbol of Islam. You go into the other areas of the world, you find the same sun god, moon goddess. They're the same religion, and they get their followers to feed the energy into the same gods that have created those religions. Vampiring that energy, closing the mind, creating a prison, dividing and ruling. Which brings us to secret societies, and of course religions are against secret societies, except another coordinate. The secret society network and the religions worship the same gods as each other. Guess who they are? This is the Eye of Ra, or the Eye of Horus, it's also termed. It's a massive symbol of the Illuminati, these bloodlines that sit atop the secret society network. That's why you have the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill, put there in the 1930s. It's the eye of CBS, Columbia Broadcasting. Columbia comes from a name meaning dove, Columba. AOL, the eye and the pyramid, from these corporations controlled by these bloodlines using the symbolism that the religions are based on. There is the rising sun in a Freemasonic lodge. There's the rising sun in the Vatican in Rome above one of the old popes. This is a picture taken inside a major Freemasonic temple in Boston, which I've told over the years I walked into with a few people, and there was no one there, so we kept walking and ended up in this bloody temple. It was like the Mary Celeste. Took these pictures. There you go, the rising sun. And this is a building just down the road from the White House. It's the Supreme Headquarters, the 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, and there's the rising sun again. And these are the same symbols you find in religion. Washington's chair. This is above the door of Downing Street in London. The rising sun. CBS News logo, rising sun. Side of that Boston Freemasonic temple, the sun. This is the Mother Lodge of Freemasonry in London, which was the base from where Freemasonry was introduced into the new United States and the colonies, and it's in Great Queen Street in London. Great Queen is an old name in Babylon for Queen Semiramis, and so the state of Virginia was not created or named as a result of the Virgin Queen Elizabeth. It was the Virgin Queen of Babylon, Semiramis. So you've got the secret societies and the religions both worshipping the same gods while thinking they're all different. And it's possible because of this structure where all roads lead to the same few. That's how Freemasonic and other secret societies structure themselves. Most Freemasons are down here. They never get up here. And up here is not the end for the chosen few. Because the secret societies we hear about feed into another pyramid, the chosen few, the bloodline few, into the Illuminati pyramids, which are also fiercely hierarchical. And that's where the real deal is in terms of control. You can also symbolize the structure as a spider's web, with a spider in the center and different strands, different organizations, different secret societies. The closer to the spider you are, the more elite the secret society. The further out from it you are, you start to hit the organizations that directly interact with mainstream society. Somewhere here might be the Bilderberg Group. Further out might be the Council on Foreign Relations and stuff like that, which are acknowledged to exist in America. But the real deal is here, which just dictates the policy down the spider's web. One of the secret societies near to the spider is the Jesuits. The Jesuits, which connect into the Church of Babylon, of course, in Rome, started by Ignatius Loyola in the 16th century. They call themselves the Illuminated Ones. Adam Weishaupt, who started a version of the Illuminati called the Bavarian Illuminati in 1776, or he was the frontman for it, was trained as a Jesuit. You find that over and over. It was the Jesuits that led the conquest of places like Africa and further afield for the colonies that followed. Many of the people, significant people in the world, Clinton there and Mugabe and George Tenet, head of the CIA at the time of 9/11, are Jesuits or Jesuit trained. This is the new guy at the head of them, Adolfo Nicolas. He's known as the Black Pope and has more power than the real one. The Knights Templar and the Knights Hospitaller of St. John of Jerusalem, ancient secret societies, the second one's now known as the Knights of Malta, they lock into this structure pretty close to the spider, and they manipulate events behind the scenes so the right people get the positions of power, the right decisions are made, the right legislation is introduced. And it's the Knights Templar, there's their symbol at the heart of the City of London logo, held by the reptile figures. They control the City of London to a very large extent. This is their original Templar church made famous by the Da Vinci Code, and just down here somewhere was where the Blairs were trained as lawyers. And again, they also have massive influence, the Templars, in the Temple area of London, which controls law, not just in Britain, but much further afield. Another coordinate, the Illuminati and the secret societies connect into what we call Satanism. They're just different faces on the same network. This structure connects into the satanic ritual structure and helps to cover up and stops it getting into the public arena on the scale that it could.